Hey guys, Deathloader Gaming here, and I'm going to tell you how to beat Magic Treasures Dragon and Magic Treasures Tiger. We have determined they are the same machine with different graphics. Now there is one different version and then two newer versions, and this doesn't apply to those. Those are a lot different. A lot of people noticed, hey, it's got true progress with a real number that represents an actual value that actually goes up. Well, that means at a certain number it's in your favor. What is that number? And the answer is important, but first I gotta tell you how this even works so you know what you're getting into. So first of all, you've got a mini, minor, and maxi that scale with your bet amount at all denominations and all bet levels. Then there's a progressive major that resets to 1,000 typically. And then of course the nearly impossible to hit progressive grand. Then in the main play area, you've got the jackpot bonus, free game bonus, and then the main feature, which is the money balls. It resets to 5, and then every time you get this symbol right here, money balls, it will go up by 1. And then it has a small chance of going off, where it just spews out balls equal to the number that is listed on the bowl. I believe the largest value is 15x or something really close to that, so you can't get an astronomically large ball once in a while like you do on Buffalo Link or Phoenix Link, but you don't necessarily need it because it's a lot easier and quicker to hit this bonus. But let's talk about the other two that you can get while chasing, because they do not increment in any way. Now when you're doing random spins, you can get some pretty good line pays. It's not, completely negligible. I'd say it's about in the neighborhood of like Regal Riches, where like once in a while you get like a 4 or 5 of a kind that pays pretty good. But you get piddly little like 3 and 4 way line pays pretty often actually with bad symbols. Also, it throws random balls onto the screen, and it doesn't matter if you get 6 of them, 8 of them, it doesn't really matter. They just have to link from left to right. So we're playing by Conan rules. So like right here, I got the minor just because I got ball, and then number 3. And then you get paid the minor and all the ball values. So you can get some weird stuff happening like this, like a failed jackpot attempt, a failed free game attempt that both didn't trigger the bonus, and then a money ball that also didn't trigger the bonus, and then the 4th column, and you get paid for the 4th column. Now, if there's a multiplier, but you didn't set off the money ball bonus, you still get the multiplier in all the values, which is even nicer. So I've just randomly gotten a 5x minor that happened to link up, so I get 5x all the ball values, 5x minor, and oh baby, we're looking at, I think that's 125 times your bet, plus the other balls. I mean, that's pretty good. But if any balls are on screen at all, when it decides to go off, you get them as long as you can link them up 5 ways. Now, a 5-way link up is guaranteed in the normal green bonus, but in the blue bonus, it is not. So when the maxi just decides to drop in randomly and then you get a money ball, you're really holding your breath to make sure that it goes off, because then you would collect the maxi 100% of the time. Oh, and also the major and the grand are not balls. You can only get them via the picker. And no, a full blackout on the screen of balls will not win you the grand. So when you get the jackpot picker, it looks like this. I got this screenshot from the digital version, by the way, which looks a little different but works pretty much the same. Oh, and it's part of IGT's online collection, so you can find it on all kinds of different websites and just play it for free without signing in or anything. Just kind of Google it. Although I can't really vouch for the safety or security of a lot of those websites, but a lot of them just exist to funnel you to sketchy overseas casinos, which obviously I wouldn't recommend. But anyway, this is what the picker looks like. So you just choose them until you get it, and unlike dancing drums, you don't get the mini all the time, and you can get a mini times 2, 3, or 5, and that's actually really common. I'd say just a non-multiplied mini, maybe 20-30% of the time. And I've gotten the maxi a lot. Like, I'm thinking it's maybe a 1 in 10 around that neighborhood. And if you pick up like a minor times 3, that's 75 times your bet. I mean, that's quite a bit. So people like to count out the jackpot picker because it tends to pay less than the free games, but you can get some really good wins in there really consistently. The number of coins in the stack on jackpot bonus and the number of coins inside of the blue chest will go up, but they don't represent any actual progress. That's right, it's a true progress machine mixed with a fake progress machine. Now, as you can see on the balls, you can get X2, X3, and X5. It's not too terribly uncommon, but I'd say 70 to 80% of the time you're going to trip it with no multiplier. And while a multiplier can show up on a single solo ball, that is a thing that can happen, it is much more likely to show up on a stack of 2 or 3, and I think it might even be guaranteed on 4. Well, then you've got the jackpot bonus. Every time that one single jackpot bonus symbol shows up, you have a chance of getting the jackpot bonus. It's probably around 1 in 50, so it's not great odds, and getting 3 of them is not an auto win. In fact, here's 4 of them. I did actually get it. However, missing it on 3 suggests that I could miss it on 4 or 5. I just haven't yet. I'm sure it's coming at some point. So then there's the blue free game symbol. Somehow I don't have a picture of it, but it's a little blue sphere that says free games. Same thing, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of it, it could trigger it. And the free games start you at a pot of 5, give you 8 free games, and then every time you get the money balls in the middle, you have a very high chance of it going off. Like I dare say 50-50 perhaps per ball. And they show up in groups, they show up more often. And you can get multiple pops, but then the progress is maintained. So if you got 4 symbols, it went up to 9, it went off. It throws down a bunch of balls, and then, okay, cool. And then it's like spin number 2. Well, now you get to start at 9. So if you get 2 more, it goes up to 11, and then it may or may not go off. Then you get the multipliers as well, which, like I said, are much, much, much more common if they're in a stack with other money ball symbols. So it's kind of like hitting the green bonus multiple times, but with a higher chance of having a multiplier. And for every free game symbol that you just happen to collect during the free games, it will give you +3 spins. So once in a while, you can go over 8, sometimes a lot over 8. Also, you can get monster line pays in this, like 50 to 100 times more often than in the base game. And the top symbols are worth an enormous amount of money. I've gone the entire bonus without getting a single pop. And I've also gotten, I think, 8 pops for hand pay on a pretty low amount. So it's all over the place, but winning 100 to 200 times your bet is very common in the free games. It is the bonus that is the worthwhile one to hit. So those are wonderful to get while you're chasing. You're either going to need the money balls to go off really early or with a multiplier, or get as many bonuses as possible during the run. Otherwise, you're going to have a bad day. I mean, we have started at 17, which is an astronomical number. Oh, the machine stops at 46, by the way. Fun fact. We have personally seen 42, but we started at 17 at about $4 a bet, ended up at 37 and got 0 bonuses the whole way. That was, I think, a $1,300 loss. Very anomalous, but not impossible. We've also gotten the free spins on the first spin twice. But we've also had what would be considered a bad run, but we hit like the jackpot picker twice and the free games twice. And it's like, okay, there's a profit. Now, the other thing is if you drive up the number real high, or if you don't, I mean, what you really want is a multiplier when it goes off. So if you open up the little help menu on this one, it tells you just this generic vague statement about the higher the number on the money balls, the more likely it is to go off, or something like that. There are 50 different ways to interpret that. We thought it was the number divided by 50, but we disproved that. We thought it was a predetermined number, and it just, like, when it gets there, it hits it. But a statement in the game's help menu disproves that. So we're actually not sure what the math is on this. We just know that higher number equals better, and we're not sure if that just caps at like 10 or if it keeps getting better as you go, or who knows. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. You just have to know what number to play it at. That higher number equals better chance to go off, but then at the same time, you get more balls thrown down, and if it's a higher number, it doesn't like lower the values on the balls just to even it out. So I've had just some crazy wins up on the screen randomly throughout this whole section. You can get some crazy wins on this, especially when the words start showing up with multipliers. But even just like a 5x, I mean, geez, they're all going to turn into pink numbers, which just indicates that they're really big numbers. But the container can throw down the pink numbers by itself, and it could also throw down the M words, except for the major. So this is a very, very long run machine that is very determinant on luck. It can and will backfire spectacularly, and you have to keep playing until it goes off, otherwise you're abandoning all of your money. So know what you're getting into, and don't do what I did, which is go on an absolute nightmare run at $12 a spin, and have to run home and grab more money out of the safe. I do not live close to that casino. I had to pay somebody to sit in that chair for over an hour. Shout out to the guy who did that. You know who you are, and you're awesome. If you're going to play at 80 cents, I'd recommend having at least 500 times the bet, and that's if it goes spectacularly terribly. But you could need upwards of 1,000. That would be legendary tier bad, but, you know, don't start we can't finish. I would have 500 on hand, 500 available via other means, just saying. So if as the number goes higher, the go-off chance goes higher, but also the number of balls that it throws down is higher, so you have a higher chance of pulling a mini or minor. And then if you get like an X2 on a 14 as opposed to a 7, it's actually 4 times better because you're double the number. So when somebody drives up the number and then gets off the machine because it didn't hit, they really invested some potential future payout into that machine. Well, luckily, if you watch enough spins, you figure out what the return to player is on the average ball, compared to the go-off chance and compare it to the multiplier chance, and together you get a certain number. And I always give out this information for free on YouTube, but if you want a whole bunch of quick guides, I got them over on Patreon for just a couple bucks. Link in the description and comment section, or if you just want to basically tip me for all the hard work I do. Otherwise, subscribe for more, and I got a whole playlist of different how to beat casino stuff. Definitely check it out. But what is the number? So according to the numbers that are just generally passed around in AP circles that I haven't independently verified, but everybody agrees on this, 12 is generally accepted to be the number at all bet amounts, every denom, everything. That would be the safe margin to play. Now, I don't know if that's 101% RTP or like 110%. I've had mixed results at 12. It's usually positive. So just kind of feeling it out, vibing it out, looking at the results. I have won more times than I've lost, and I've won more money than I've lost at 12. So I think 12 is pretty safe. A lot of serious AP people or people who know that their casino would definitely order this cabinet at the worst possible return to player pay tables, that they're going 14, 15. Or if they've just had a bunch of long runs that bankrupted their entire bankroll, because that has nearly happened to me 5 times. They just want a little safer run. It's called playing tight. Yeah, might want to go a little higher than 12. If you're at the right time of day and there's not a lot of AP people in your area, you could find them pretty high. Now, if you're thinking, okay, I sat down and I saw an 11. Well, that's close enough, right? Double digits? How bad could it be? And the answer is, well, you've got 1 less ball and potentially on a multiplier, effectively then 2 less balls or 5 less balls on an X5. And so it kind of cascades. You're not like, oh, well, it's within like, what would that be, like 9%? It's not, because the values don't scale like that. So do not play it thinner than 12 unless you're just like, you know what, it's probably 97, 98% RTP. Like, I'm fine with that, whatever, I just want to play, I want to do something, want to get some points. But you won't make money out in the long run if you're like, no, I want this to actually be profitable and not rely on luck on, like, you know, coin flipping. If I want to go play a 2% game and go play blackjack, then don't play it at 11. And probably don't play it at 12. A couple more cool things from my notes. You can double pop, so in theory you could triple pop, and it will just play the bonuses sequentially. It is impossibly rare, but I've seen it as of last night 5 times. So if you watch really carefully, like, it will make the jackpot pile glow, and then also the free game or the money balls will glow. Another important and cool thing to remember is that it can randomly, without even dropping a jackpot ball or a free game ball, just decide, you know what, I'm going to give you one of them. Well, or the money ball, it's all 3. And it'll just go bonk, bonk, bonk between all 3 and slow down and then eventually land on 1. And then it will give you that. So you definitely want the free games if it's doing that. That's the good one. Jackpot, sure. Money balls you wouldn't want because, well, I mean, that would end your run, so maybe you do want that. But you want to start it with a multiplier. What people don't know, because this is like exceedingly rare, I cannot stress how rare this is, but the Tiger or Dragon can, if it lands on money balls, pause and then breathe down a multiplier and then put it right here on the screen. And then you get multipliers on the balls. But that's got to be like 1 in 10, 1 in 20. And we call it the bonk bonk bonus. The bonk bonk bonus is pretty rare. So that's all you need to know about this. Go check out my Patreon, linked in the description and comment section, for my full guide, including a bunch that weren't featured on the channel either yet or ever. Like Wolf Peak or Wolf Run Peak or whatever it's called. Play if there's a yellow multiplier in play at all, anywhere. Well, that was a 7-second video. It's just not going to be a video. Like, there would be no point. So stuff like that, it's over there. And you can get it all for just a couple bucks. Or if you just want to support me because I'm helping you guys beat the casinos. Or just keep watching because that supports me too. I love you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.